Hi, good morning everybody. I'm just going to have a few words about the Oxford show. A superb show. I hope you enjoyed my offerings of the plants that I put up of the show. Best to view them with the volume turned down because I purposely didn't add any commentary with them. I just went round and showed the plants. The quality was superb, and I think you'd all agree that it was equal to a national show, if not better than a national show. It was absolutely amazing, a very enjoyable day. Anyway, I'm going to show you, I bought 3 plants at the nurseries there, and I'll show you those, and I'll just have a general talk about what I thought of the show. Let's have a look now. First, I got this beautiful Dioscuri or Testudinaria sylvatica. It's a plant which I hadn't seen for a long time. Don't look too deeply at the price. Let's face it, plants now that are a must do cost quite a bit, and I thought, well, as the old saying goes, you can't take it with you, so I treated myself to it. It's a beautiful plant. Have a look at it on Google. There's several pictures there, and it is a beautiful plant. At the moment this is just in, there's some stems there. Sorry, I haven't really put them in a good place to show the plants, but the greenhouse is getting a bit crowded now. But anyway, that's sylvatica. It's one which will not take too much water, so be careful. Don't overwater it. I think I lost my one years ago by doing just that, overwatering it, so be very careful. This one's been top dressed, which looks like aquarium grit. It should do the job. And I've left the label there. Please excuse the price. I'm not trying to be boastful or anything like that. As you all know, plants are very expensive now. They never used to, well, they have been in the past, but the prices now are such. But anyhow, that's the Dioscuri sylvatica. The species we're all familiar with is the Testudinaria elephantapes, which we've all got, and my one, as I mentioned a few videos ago, is back into growth. It's a funny plant. It's nice. I can talk and talk and talk. I'm not going to, because you'll all be asleep. As I jokingly say, I have kissed the Blarney Stone. I've also swallowed it, so there I go. Anyway, you probably know who I am. I'm Maguette, but you all know who I am, really. Anyway, let's have a look at some of the other plants, which I bought 3. I'll be honest, I bought 3. Oh, there's the other one. Excuse it being wrapped between the Xeriocoecas plants. There she is. She could well be. It's Stephania. Now I'll tell you a little story about Stephania. When I was a kid, a long time ago, I went to Kew Gardens, and in a concrete container was a plant called Stephania glabra, a beautiful plant. I thought, God, if I could only take that home. It was symmetrically shaped, round. It's quite smooth, I think, if I can remember. I think I was probably about, well, I was in early teens, if I'd reached my teens. It was that long ago. Anyhow, there's the name. Do excuse the price. I will look it up. I don't know this plant. I think they come from India, but once again I haven't checked that out. That other plant, by the way, the Dioscurus sylvatica, comes from South Africa, Zimbabwe, which used to be known in my day as Rhodesia. That's where they come from. I'm pretty sure this one comes from India, but I will, if it's wrong, I will correct it. As you can see, there is a shoot starting to come out at the top. I would say water with care. Another plant which the last two came from a very well-known nursery at the show, and I would recommend you use them because they do have some very nice plants. Incidentally, while we're talking about shows and sellers and the like, there is on next weekend Sevenoaks, and hopefully I shall be down there. We'd probably meet a lot of old friends down there, and hopefully have a look at some of the plants. My bank manager might not be that impressed, but blow my bank manager. As I said before, you can't take it with you when you go. So we will see. I do apologise for moving the stuff about. When I showed those other pictures of the show, there were some magnificent plants there, and I was so taken aback that my hands were probably shaken. So, you know, I was probably doing that, but it was through sheer excitement. Some of the, well, there was too many plants to really mention, but one mention must be made of a large Caralluma. I call it Caralluma. They've changed their names. I don't hold with this. It was Caralluma speciosum, a beautiful plant, and a credit to the grower. It got one of the awards of merit, I believe, in the show. Beautiful plant, and that had been in bloom at various times. As some of you know, that is one of the Carallumas that have like a head of blooms, and in the wild, when they bloom, they stink. They really do. I remember talking to a very old friend many years ago, Jack Brown. Some of you will have heard of the name, but Jack Brown was one of the very early members of the society who knew J.T. Bates, who was also a very well-known person at the time. He was actually a tram driver, and the story was he was collecting fares in a tram in the Twickenham area, and lo and behold, who was on the tram but Louise Bolus, who he recognised. So it is a very small world. Now let me pass on to the third plant I bought, which I had to have. I'd already got one, but I thought, well, I'm going to have another one. There it is. You all know the name of that one. See the name there. It's Pachypodium namaquanum, known as the Halfman. And there's a lovely picture in Flowering Stones. I think it's Flowering Stones and Midnight Flowers. Oh, it's by Gustav Schwantz in his book, where it shows this plant, and at the base of it is Herianthus mayeri. So it's a very nice picture, and needless to say, these plants need a bit of care when watering. Sorry, it's under one of the Xeriosychus. Incidentally, talking about Xeriosychus, at the show was the Cordex form Xeriosychus, a very, very fine example. If you look through my videos that I made of the show, you will probably see it. Beautiful plant. Anyway, they're the three I bought. I was very pleased with my purchases, and looking forward to the other due on next Saturday. I can't wait for next Saturday to come round. I'm hoping that a friend that I knew from school days will be there. As I say, we both started very early. I was about to leave school, I think. He was in about 3 years below me at the time, and I remember one of the teachers coming up to me and saying, "Oh, there's another funny bloke in that's wearing a badge like yours." It was the GB badge, the old GB badge. This was one of the two societies that formed the BCSS. We used to meet up at Vincent Square, London. There were good days. I used to go up there as a kid. There was no danger of anything. I know my grandfather said, "Well, go straight there. Don't go down any of these side roads. Just go straight to the meeting and come straight back afterward," which I did. I had many meetings there. I was well impressed. And also say, next Saturday it's the Seven Oaks Mart, which is being run, I believe, by the Bromley branch of the BCSS. So that is a must. So write it in your diary. Come along, and I will do a little talky about that as well. I can't stop talking once I get going. And I'm just looking round at the plants, which a lot of these you've seen before, but they have, this last week or so, they have really pushed on some growth. It is nice. There's some in there, but no, as I said earlier, the Oxford show was superb. Made nice bacon rolls. They were very welcome, and their chocolate cake. Well, I could have eaten more of those, but I'm not allowed to. I've got this dreaded type 2 diabetes, which I was quite shocked to find out I had that, because not being a person for sweets and sweet things, I didn't know why I got it, but it appeared I was eating too much fruit, particularly grapes. I used to love grapes. I used to go down to Croydon Market and buy a load of grapes, and by the time I'd gone around the market, the grapes had vanished. I won't say where they vanished to, but they had vanished, and that was probably the reason. And also one of my favourite boot sales at Wimbledon, which I no longer can go to because it's being turned into a bloody, excuse my French, a football ground for Wimbledon. I'm not giving them a plug because they've ruined my days out to that boot sale, and they haven't found a place yet as far as I know. So I've lost out there, and there was always a gentleman there selling food. There's a fruit and veg man as well. But anyhow, that's another story. I could be talking all the time. Anyhow, let me finish by saying, more or less repeating what I said. Have a look at my offerings of the show. I do apologise for it shaking a bit. Turn the volume down because there's no I didn't say a word. I was just pointing at the plot. I went round. As far as I know, I took in the whole of the show. Also went on to the nurseries and showed some of the plants, which were good. So I was well pleased. Yeah, looking around. This is early morning, by the way. I'm waiting to go for a blood test. I had to starve myself last night, so I haven't eaten. I'm not allowed to have a cup of tea, not allowed to have a bit of toast, not allowed to have anything. But at 8:30 the blood centre's opened, and I go in there and they take some of my blood, and then I can come home and have something to eat. Anyhow, these are the other conifilums which, as I say, these were watered. This saves me taking a separate one about the fact they've advanced quite a bit. They need another drink, but they're greening up and they're coming on. It is quite nice. It's a beautiful morning, as you can see. I should do more of these talky types. Whether you'll ever get me sitting down with the camera pointing to me while I'm talking, I don't know. But suffice to say, it's a start, and I hope you've all enjoyed it. Any comments, please leave. Please subscribe. Must have plenty of subscribers and views and that taken of the talk. As I say, it's nice. Anyhow, once again, to the Oxford branch, thank you for putting on a superb show. I haven't mentioned any names of all the people. If I mentioned a name, I would have to mention all of them. I haven't mentioned the cactus sellers for the same reason. But believe me, come along to the next show at Sevenoaks, and I think you won't be disappointed. And as I said before, the type of plants that were on show. It was also nice to note that it looked like Oxford might have gained some new members. I noticed a family going round and they were looking at the plants, all their children were, and I said at the time, I said, they're very keen, and they were filling in a entry form, not an entry form, a membership form, and two of the youngsters they went out with a bit of money. They were sitting down at the table, and they came back with some plants, and they were sitting at the next table to me, and I sort of being nosy looked across. I said, you've got a lithops. And the other one said, that's a funny thing, it's a plant stuck on top of another. I said, well, in a way it is, it's a graft. I said, what you've got is a cristate. And I explained to them what a cristate was. So hopefully they could be members of the future, because let's face it, we've got to get new members. So there we are. Anyhow, I'm going to end now. If I don't, the battery's going to run out and I'm going to watch it. So as I said before, please subscribe, please comment, and once again, thank you for watching the plants. Have a look at my other ones again that I've put up. As I say, turn the volume down and sit back, have a nice cup of tea or something, and watch. I can't have a cup of tea, so I'm rubbing it in a bit. I can when I come out of the blood place, which is in exactly an hour's time. So I think I can probably manage to then. Anyhow, this is Maget One signing off. You all know who I am. And by the way, have a look at my offerings on Flickr. I also do Flickr and Maget 2 on Flickr. I think I got them the right way around. It's Maget 1 and Maget 2. One of me is on Flickr and the other's on YouTube. So anyhow, I'm definitely going to stop rabbiting on. So once again, thanks for watching. Thank you. I'll get back later with something else. Might be on a different subject, you never know. Anyhow, thanks again. Thank you.